Hey guys, good morning. As you can see here, we have a bucket of frozen thawed rodents, and this is a video request from a YouTube commenter, TJ, asking, how do you go about switching your snakes from live prey to frozen thawed prey? So I'm going to show you basically what I do. I have those that Ultramel clutch that hatched a few weeks back. They're going to be on their third meal here. So that's typically by the third, fourth, fifth meals when I try to start transitioning the frozen thawed. If I plan on keeping them, I don't usually do that if they're snakes that I plan on selling. It just takes too much time to try to do that. But I try to get my snakes to do it. So this is basically the process that I do start to finish. All I do is put them in a bucket of hot water, let them thaw out with everything. That's how I thaw out all my rodents. I don't let them air dry. I don't put them in dehydrators. I don't do any of that stuff. And maybe that's why some snakes will and won't take them. But I mean, I still have, let's see, this male takes frozen thawed, this snake, that one, that one, that one, that one. Half of these snakes take them. A bunch of my adults don't, but I have 3 in the adult rack that take them. This rack, there's only about 4 or 5 snakes, and probably the same thing over there. So I kind of stopped forcing myself to feed frozen thawed because I produce enough rodents that I don't care as much anymore. I prefer it. It just makes my life easier to feed frozen thawed, but it's not something I worry about anymore at this point. I want them to eat. I want them to grow. I want them to be healthy, so I don't try to force it. But this is exactly what I do. So we'll get into that right now. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also still check out my Memorial Day sale. Huge discounts on everything I have in Morph Market. Go check that out. So this is basically it. And then I take my tongs. The size of mouse that I typically start off with, it's like a small-ish mouse. Sometimes if it's a bigger snake, I'll do a medium or like a large mouse. But this is, I'm trying to get a better grip on it. All right, good. So this is it. Little, small mouse. Make sure it's still hot. You want it to be a hot rodent. First meal, so she's up front. And so basically you just want it to kind of look like it's a rodent. Wiggle it, jump it around, move it side to side. Oh, she wants it already, you can tell. Ooh, it's a strike. So strikes are good. At least it means they're being a little aggressive. I'll back up a little bit here. This is first meal, first attempt. She's either in between being angry at it or wanting to strike it and eat it. So let's see. Bring it a little closer to her face. Nope. All right, so I'll leave her alone. I'll let her kind of gain her composure back. And I'll go on to baby number 2. And I will see how he's going to do. Let's see. I just wiggle him back and forth. There's nothing crazy about this process. You'll see the tongue flicks. Sometimes I'll kind of bump the rodent into them a little bit. Sometimes they'll take it by the third meal, sometimes they won't. It's kind of hard to say which snakes will and won't. Sometimes I'll kind of just push it on the snake a little bit, like it's a little mouse, doesn't know what it's doing in there. No interest, okay? So you just basically keep moving down the line, snake by snake until somebody decides they want to eat one. I just dropped that one, so let me get a new one. That one's probably starting to cool off anyways. You have to be really patient with it. There's no rhyme or reason as to sometimes why one snake will take it and the other one won't. I'll try to get a better grip on this. So just patient, make it look like it's a rodent. Wiggle it back and forth like it's kind of trying to get away. I mean, they've all been moving a little bit towards it. Sometimes they'll get just kind of too timid of it and they'll try to back away. You can sort of see him try to bob his head a little bit as we're... There, he's looking a little more interested. Tongue flicks. Move it around, get it out of his face a little bit, bring it up closer. make it look like it's, I mean, you're basically trying to imitate what a prey item would look like. Sometimes I kind of get it on them a little bit, you know, because mice aren't necessarily avoiding the snake the whole time they're in there. Let's see. Nope, no interest. So it might be too early for them. I've done it after the third meal. I've done it for the third meal. It just depends on the snakes. Usually, the younger you start them, the easier it is to get them switched over. But sometimes they just still want the live stuff this time in their life. Let's see. He might take it. He was the most aggressive eater of all of them. Let's see. Right here, see if... Oh, see, look. See, he grabbed it. You just keep it. It's almost like you have to bother the snake with the rodent. And just imitate as much as you can the how a rodent moves around. I'll probably actually even go back through all these snakes to see, give them all a second chance. You kind of get them started a little bit, get them kind of jazzed up, and then come back maybe for more. Let's see, this girl, she's always looks like she wants to bite me when I come in here, so maybe she wants to eat the prey item. She's angry looking. Strikes. Let's get some more strikes, but this time try to eat it. Come on. Come on. I don't know if she's keying in on me or the rodent. See, strikes, you know, these are kind of defensive, but that doesn't mean she won't eat it. Let's see. Sometimes I'll put it right up against her mouth. Let's see. Come on. Strikes are good. That doesn't always mean that they're ready to eat it, though. So let's get it in here. Let's see. Kind of. Come on. You're angry, but eat. Eat. Let's see. Oop, that looks, you try to maybe eat that one, but nope. See, now she's just frustrated. So that one didn't work. But that's all I do. That's all there is to it. This isn't rocket science. Let's see what this guy wants to do. You'll notice sometimes that they follow it a little more if they're more interested in it. We're getting strikes, so that's a. Let's see. Get in there. Let me pull this out a little more so you can see. He's a very aggressive eater too, so. Come on, buddy. Come on. Get it up against him there a little bit. Rub the scent on there. Let's see. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, buddy? Nope. Okay. So yeah, this group, they are not ready yet. We only had 1 out of 6 take it. We try this first one again, see if she moved. Yep, so she moved in the back. Let's see if she's in any better of a position here to wanna eat. She gets up a little bit. Let's see, buddy. Ooh, that's a lazy strike. Is that a defensive strike or a feeding strike? Come on. Ooh. Bites are good, but you gotta eat it. Bites are good. Let's eat. Come on. Lots of strikes out of this group. They're a very moody group. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of the way it goes when you're feeding frozen thawed. There's no guarantee that they're gonna take it. That's all you can do is try. And you know, 1 out of 6 took him. He was the best eater to begin with, so maybe he was a little more ready. He did eat a few days before everybody else the first meal. They all have the same amount of meals, but he took his a few days before everybody else. So he's probably the easiest one to feed out of the group. But that's all you can do. I take that mouse and I make it look like it's living as much as you can. You kind of run it along the ground, kind of jiggle it back and forth, left and right, up and down. It's okay if you kind of bump up against the snake with the rat a little bit. Sometimes I actually push the mouse directly up to the front of the snake's mouth. And I just actually had one earlier, one of my older snakes. I like literally put it all the way up to the snake's mouth, and she just went and just opened her mouth up, didn't even strike. She just opened it and let me literally put the mouse into her mouth. Actually, it was my lightning pied girl. Let's see. Yeah, she just put it right in her mouth, and she was like, "Hey, thanks." So, I mean, it can be frustrating, especially if you have older snakes. You're gonna have a very, very low chance of switching adults that you just brought in your collection to switch over to frozen thawed. In my experience, those are the hardest snakes to switch over. So if you absolutely have to feed frozen thawed and there's no way for you to do live, you either need to buy a snake that's been eating frozen thawed its whole life, or you need to buy a younger snake, like very young, like, a month or two out of the egg, and try to switch them over yourself. But I have not had good luck switching adults over to frozen thawed. I mean, these two girls I got a couple months back, and they're very aggressive feeders. As you can see, she was right there actually waiting to eat, and she's kind of due up next. She switched over to frozen thawed immediately, and she was a live eater, and so was this other one. She's in shed, so we'll see if she actually eats this week. But she's always there ready to eat. So switching her to frozen thawed was no problem at all. I think maybe my second meal with her, she probably took frozen thawed. This girl, same thing. Fantastic eater. I picked her up a few months back. Takes frozen thawed, no problem. As you can see here, some of these have green clips and blue clips. Blue is frozen, green, yellow, those are all live. Some of them, there's 1 week they'll eat frozen, 1 week they're back to live. So it can be a pain in the butt with ball pythons, but that's all I do. I mean, it's not complicated. I don't do anything crazy. You just try to make sure the rodent's as hot as it can be, and you mimic what a rodent would do in there. And think about it this way. When you put a mouse in there, the mouse isn't going to be nice and polite and just sit on the one end of the tub. It's going to go everywhere. If you watched inside of there when you put a live rodent in, or if you put a camera in there, you'd see that rodent run up and down, left and right, on top of the snake, over the snake, underneath the snake. I've seen mice cuddling up with snakes in there if snakes didn't want to eat them. So, they're everywhere. So you're getting that scent everywhere. So I just move that mouse around, or the frozen thawed, whatever it is, all over the place inside of those tubs to try to kind of mimic that. Don't be afraid to make it kind of step on the snake. Don't be afraid to put it directly up to the snake's mouth. And that's all I do. That's what works for the snakes that do want to take frozen thawed. So hopefully that helped TJ. Hopefully that helped everybody else out there that tries to do it. It's not 100% foolproof because not all ball pythons want to do that. Like I said, I mean, half of these holdbacks here still do not take frozen thawed. At one point they probably did. This girl, sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. This one never will. I bought that one, so I don't really count her. This one has taken both. This one never has. This one never has. She will not take frozen thawed. All three of these black exanthic ones take frozen thawed no matter what. And they do it religiously. So it just depends on the clutch of eggs. I think sometimes it has something to do with the temperament of the parents as well, because these three are all from the same dad, and they all eat very well. But that's not a foolproof, so is this one. So that's not necessarily a foolproof thing either, because these three girls are all from the same clutch, and this one's never taken. These two have. This one, the only one who's consistent. So I don't know. I can't tell you why some don't, but there are certain clutches that do take frozen thawed more readily for me than other ones. So there probably could be some genetic disposition in there. If the parents or one of the parents was a more aggressive feeder, if that kind of feeding response thing gets passed along to the babies, it could tell you why some of them are easier to feed and take frozen thawed more easily. So that's it. I'll probably go back and try one more time now that the rodents are heated back up a little bit. But if they don't take it, I don't care. I'm putting live stuff back in there because they all eat that. And again, my number one goal with my snakes is to make sure they're eating. I don't care what it is. I just want them to eat.